What's up, guys? We're going to be starting us off with a beautiful view from the south suburbs of the Chicagoland area. It's been another beautiful day out here across the south suburbs of Chicagoland area. Just a backyard view of my area here across my homeland area. You can see blue skies across much of Illinois today. But in the middle of this coming up week, we're going to see a lot of changes with a lot of thunderstorms and severe weather is starting to approach the area. And that's how we're going to jump in into here and breaking down all those juicy details here. The severe weather is going to be happening across the Chicagoland area, most of Illinois here going into Thursday afternoon to Thursday evening, and a lot of the forecast models have been very consistent, including the European and GFS models. Ensemble means they all been showing the amplified moisture coming north, even 70 dew points reaching all the way into the Chicagoland suburbs, and even upper 80 temperatures. And when you have strong heating like that, there's usually a thing called a cap and inversion, preventing storms from blowing up and developing. But if storms were to break the cap on Thursday, all dynamics are in place. Strong low level wind shear all the way up to your 700 to 500 millibars. Very nice wave coming out, really nice trough digging in, negatively tilted. So it's going to be definitely a day to watch for significant severe weather on Thursday. Everything is coming together. The models are not bulging at all. If not, they're trending more north, if not even more north on the next update. I even see portions of central northern Michigan and Wisconsin getting in on some of the severe weather, depending on how far north that warm front does go. So, I mean, everything's definitely coming together for significant severe weather, especially on the warm front too, depending on where that warm front's going to be. Some of the models even showing up a prefrontal boundary out ahead of the somewhat dry line, you would say cold front / dry line. It looks like there's more dry air behind that than actual cold front. So we'll see how that kind of plays out on the higher resolution models. Let's go ahead and just jump into details here for that day coming up. Let's go ahead and look at the SPC outlook, I would have to say. So here's your SPC outlook here for Thursday. They highlighted all the way up into portions of Wisconsin up there, approaching the Green Bay area. I'm assuming that the warm front's going to kind of come in like this. There's going to be a warm front. There's going to be like a dry line / cold front area, and out ahead of that, you're going to have the possible chance of some broken line embedded supercells here if the cap breaks just kind of like this. That's what I'm assuming what the models are trying to pick up on is like a warm front, like a really saggy, archy warm front that's coming across portions of, you know, standing that far north. Depending on where it's going to be at, I don't know. Don't judge my drawing here. It's just kind of up in the air here of what's actually going to happen for Thursday. But that's what I'm just currently thinking here. But a lot of the forecast models are definitely coming together for significant severe weather on Thursday, and this is the SPC's outlook as it's not changed since yesterday. If not, it's gotten larger in area, so I do expect this to get even more larger. I wouldn't be surprised that there is a 30% hatch on the next day 4 outlook. After 4 a.m. after midnight tonight is when the outlook does update for the 4 to 8 day range. I wouldn't be surprised there's a 30% outlook hatch over portions of Illinois and Indiana on the next update. If not, the slight risk is definitely going to be larger in portion. But let's go ahead and check out some of those forecast models here and see what we're looking at. Oops. There we go. We're going to start with the GFS and we'll go to European. GFS just currently updated, so we'll go ahead and check that out. 18Z. Definitely love my 18Z. Alright, let's backtrack this all the way. Look at this. See, the reason why it's indicating a possibly a strong cap is because not only is your surface temperatures during the afternoon hours here across Illinois upper 80s and lower 90 temperatures across a large portion of central and eastern and northeast. Almost all of Illinois here is in the upper 80 temperatures here on Thursday, which does indicate a very strong cap and inversion. If we look at 850 millibar temps, let's look at 700 millibar temps here. Yeah, some of the areas picking up on negative 10 Celsius. And look how strong, that's a strong cap and inversion. Your 10 Celsius is not as strong of a cap as 700 millibar. Your 850 millibar temps here are around 20 Celsius. Yeah, it's 20 Celsius, yeah. 20 to 22 Celsius, that's a strong cap and inversion at 850 millibar temps. Look at your 925 millibar temps there. So your 850 millibar temps does show a cap and inversion, your low level cap and inversion there on Thursday, which there could be an indication that cap does break. Going to 21Z, cooler air aloft coming in there, which could indicate maybe we get the cap to break across central and northern Illinois on Thursday evening, late afternoon hours, but we'll see. The cold front's probably going to be there forcing focus point, if not a prefrontal boundary, if we can't get that cap to break. It's very dry and warm air at your low levels there, 850 millibar temps. Definitely a cap and inversion in place. And here's your strong instability indicator. I think the prime time is going to be your 18 to 21Z time for significant severe weather, including supercell of all severe weather hazards on Thursday evening into Thursday overnight. But some of the models are trending more towards Indiana and eastern Illinois scenario here, including I think central and southern Michigan and to central and northern Indiana definitely have a big play for some prefrontal supercells out ahead of the cold front. I think it's going to be eastern Illinois, most of Indiana, Michigan, and western Ohio based on the GFS model here currently. That's what I'm currently thinking here based on current meta-analysis. I mean, look at your supercell composite here based on those photographs here across a large portion there. Very nice indeed. Weak cap and inversion across that whole box area of negative 28 cent and 3,000 plus cape. The LCL heights are always going to be below 800. So I'm definitely looking like Indiana and Michigan on the GFS current model trend. And if we back that up to the 12Z run, and you can see it was still trending over Indiana and Michigan. So it could be eastern extreme Illinois, Indiana, and Michigan severe weather outbreak event, but that's based on the GFS models. Go ahead and look at the European model here, see what it compares. Yeah, the European model is a little bit more slower compared to the GFS, which, you know, the models will always start to slow down when the system comes in. And the GFS model has always been the model trending this year to be the fastest, with the evolution of the system when it's always been trending slower till the day upon. So I am not trusting the GFS currently, but the European model does seem to have a good grasp on this with the slower trend. 18Z showing a very nice dry air punch there, trying to punch in there across portions of central and western Illinois. You can see those southerly surface winds there cranking right there, coming in with some 70 dew points. This is some big time moisture gulp there, the real tornado atmosphere there reaching north. And then we go to 21Z. You can see a lot of that moisture gets eaten away. Looks like there's probably some storm convection there happening, or dry air punching in, limiting moisture. I don't know if it's just over mixing or not, but that is not a good signal if you want to see significant severe weather or not. But I do like these photographs here across portions of central Illinois. Here we do a box down here on the European model. Pretty decent, negative 17 SIN, 3600 CAPE, LCL heights 1000, but that's obviously going to be lower in a higher resolution model. So a lot of the analogs are actually coming up for previous dates on significant large hail. There's going to be definitely some very, very large hailstones, probably up to baseball size on, if not larger, with any supercell develops across central Illinois on Thursday, just because your low lapse rates are pretty high, 7.5 to 8 across much of the area between the GFS and the European model. Instability is going to be 3,000 plus, and you also have some very strong upper level winds. Here is 200 to, well, the GFS model is showing it. I guess the European model is not showing it as much. Either way, you can still have weak 200, 300 millibar winds and still stronger instability combined with the lapse rate, so you can still squeeze out some very, very large hailstones. You just won't get those saucer effect supercells from high above with the beautiful structure. You get low level, mid level structure, but your 200, 300 millibar winds are still cutting back a little bit off to the west, but you still have 300 millibar winds coming in pretty strong in the European model. I think it's just a trend that can continue to watch. We'll watch the NAM kilometer model and 3KM come in later on around Monday and Tuesday, and we'll kind of figure out what is the Thursday's deal here on the high resolution models when they come in. But Thursday is definitely shaping up to be a significant severe weather day. Hopefully you guys do enjoy these next few days. This will be very warm and juicy outside. That moisture will start to come north here. By Monday into Tuesday, moisture will slowly start coming north, and it'll start definitely feeling that humidity effect. So definitely start blasting those ACs after Tuesday, because it's definitely feel humid. You're not going to feel that nice breeze outside anymore, because we're kind of in a drier atmosphere. Even though it's warmer temperatures, we don't have that humidity here yet. But after Tuesday, you should start feeling that effect of humidity starting to race north from the Gulf out ahead of the system for Thursday, so definitely start running those ACs by then. But other than that, stay tuned for severe weather. Thank you for watching, and make sure to follow all my sponsors, and social media links are in this QR code at the bottom, and stay tuned for later updates.